Hey guys, this is Griffin Puwatu, and I'm going to teach you how to be a full-time voice actor. So I get a lot of people asking me, like, well, once I get into the studios and I get on people's rosters and I start auditioning for big projects, I've made it, right? Actually, no. This is a common misconception that a lot of people have about becoming a full-time voice actor. I know a lot of friends, a lot of people who work on big projects, big names, who actually struggle to work every single day. Now, when you think of that, you're like, well, they're not booking and they don't have a session every day. It's like, no, no, no. That's 10% of the work we do as voice actors. 90% of the work we do is the work to get the work. It's the auditions. And so what you need to be doing every day is auditioning for new projects. Now, if your mentality is, I want to be in the big shows, the big video games, so on and so forth. So I want to be auditioning for that. So I will submit for rosters and get auditions from them. And then I've made it. If that's your thinking, you're actually kind of shooting yourself in the foot, because what happens a lot of the time is that those studios will send out auditions for the few projects they can take on, because they only have so much studio capacity to record at any given time, and only so many characters to audition out that might fit you, that you'll have 1 to 3 auditions a week. And then a couple days will pass, or maybe a week or 2, and you won't audition for anything. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, like, am I not good, or did they forget me? And you have no idea, because the studio casting roster system is very untransparent. It is very much a mystery. What you need to be doing is looking for different sources of auditions, and that's casting rosters. That's your local agent, if you can get one. That's regional agents in cities and markets outside of where you live. And then from there are pay-to-plays like Voice123, which I really like. Backstage.com has some pretty good voiceover projects. There's Ahab, ACX. Those are both audiobook sites. And then there's castingcall.club. I know a lot of you are rolling your eyes like, casting call, that's unprofessional. Listen, they have paid projects you can sort and filter and find plenty of awesome indie games on there. And then Twitter, Discord, different Facebook groups. And do you see that this is sign language? This is 9. That's 9 sources of auditions. And let's say each of those have one audition available every day or every couple of days. That's 5 to 10 auditions you're doing every day. That's amazing. That's great. And if you're doing that every day, and let's say this is a generous number, but let's say you book 1 out of 10 auditions you submit. If you're submitting 5 to 10 auditions every day or every other day, you're booking a couple projects a week, like cumulatively in long term, statistically speaking. People who are trying to make this into a full-time thing, you're not just there to jump from studio to studio and be like, now I'm full-time. It's like, no, no, no. You need to cultivate a multiple sources of work. If you're a freelancer, like, think of it as like in an RPG. If you are a mercenary or a freelancer, you don't want to be going to one job board in the center of town. You want to have a couple of towns, a couple of different job boards. You want to have an information broker, a guy at the bar, a guy in the alleyway, a guy who works with the king or queen or lord, where you can get multiple jobs from. So you're always working. You've always got stuff to be working on. And remember, the work is not the sessions. That's 10%. It's the 90%, the auditions you're putting in. So for any aspiring voice actors out there, or people who are in the middle of it but struggling, I would recommend look to expand where you get your auditions from, and make sure you're working every day. The more consistency you have, the more practice you get, and the less anxiety you will have, because you will have consistency in your life, consistency with your career, and then the confidence will just come from that. So yeah,